Welcome to this episode of the podcast. It's been a little while since we posted one, but we're back on it again today. Myself and Adam again. I'm Ben. This is Adam.
Hello.
And we have plenty of things to discuss today. I'm not trusted with microphones anymore.
That was silly, was that? I told you not to do it.
So on our list of topics to discuss, we've got Barrow written down. Is that a wise idea?
Fuck 'em.
And thank you for watching. Let's talk about Barrow then. For those that haven't seen it, we have a beautiful video screen behind us here. No expense spared on that.
We'll run it because it has captions on it, so we can run it while we discuss it.
We decided to stop doing Barrow. Why did we decide to stop doing Barrow? And why did we tell people that we decided to stop doing Barrow?
Sick of the steps. And we did a video, and it was me saying, the reason we're not doing Barrow anymore is not because we don't like it, it's because we're sick of these fucking steps. And then the video went viral for some reason, and all it was people abusing us, saying, the youth of today, roadies these days won't do any work, blah, blah, blah. Not realising that, actually, we do it every single weekend. Just giving us a barrage of shit.
Technically, we're also not the roadies that are there to do that. We're there to just do the event.
Yeah.
And then we are our own roadies.
Yeah. And then my favourite part was, he shouldn't even have a job. Or maybe if he did carry some stuff up the steps, he wouldn't be so fat.
What's that one of the comments?
There's a couple like that. Oh, you cheeky cunt.
Probably from people sat there.
It's from, do you know what? Most of the comments are from people that look like they claim job seekers allowance and PIP combined. So, and then once we put that up, we got loads of, oh, you should use a conveyor belt. Have you tried using a sack trolley? All this kind of stuff. So then we did another video reading out the comments that people had put, and that got people angry again. And then we put up another video of showing what it's like after the event when we have to carry everything out. And someone had taken a shit on the floor in the women's bathroom. Why?
Because someone has done the business on the floor.
Someone's took a shit on the floor. It's unbelievable. Which is not something that happens very often.
I had forgot about that.
And nor is it a reflection on the venue. Because what I would like to say is, I really like the venue and the people that own it. And we're not portraying the venue in any bad way, because the venue have done nothing wrong. In fact, the venue didn't want us to stop doing it, and the venue did everything they possibly could.
And they are lovely people there as well.
They did everything they possibly could, excluding putting a lift in. If they'd have put a lift in, we wouldn't have gone anywhere. But reality is there's no money in it because people don't spend enough money going out these days. So, we're
not making money, and we don't like the fact that it takes us. That last time it was 6 hours or something for us to get everything in.
To get everything in and set up, it's about 5 hours. And then you've got 5 hours doing the event, and then you've got 5 hours getting it out. If we were just loading it in, doing the event, and then going out for a nice meal and a bit of a nap and then taking it all out again, fine.
Like a roadie.
Like a roadie.
Like a roadie would, yeah.
But we're carrying it in, doing the event, and then carrying it back out again. And it's too labour intensive. You can't really do another difficult event that same weekend. So looking at the logistics for next year, it doesn't really fit in for us. And that's why maybe we're allowed, because I think we're blacklisted now. Maybe if we're allowed, we might do probably one next year in Barrow. Because we don't dislike the place, even though they take shits on the floor. Half the charm.
Adds a little je ne sais quoi to the event. In their defence, though, they did have a shit on the floor in the bathroom.
Yeah.
They made it 90% of the way there.
Yeah. And that's the thing, isn't it? People in Barrow are wild. I like them. I've been doing it for a long time. But anyway.
It's a very fun event.
But we like Barrow. We like the Cloud9 venue. It's difficult for us. And when we want to do other things, even though, when we want to do other things and we've been there for 5 years, maybe it's time to have a change.
That all makes sense. It's almost like people took everything you said seriously.
Oh, yeah, that's my favourite
thing. As opposed to having a joke, which never happens.
Everybody needs to realise that everything we post on social media, we are taking the piss. It is not serious at all. And 95% of it is satire. And we do it because we know it triggers trolls, which we shouldn't say.
Comments, engagement.
Yeah,
it works.
Great. Get angry about it. Sometimes I see comments and they've been filtered out, because social media needs to protect us from doing something from our mental for our mental health. I allow them. Oh yeah, go on.
Show everybody.
Go to town and show yourself. And then you just think to yourself, God, you are a piece of shit, aren't you?
I wonder who comments on them.
We had one the other day. This was a good one. It was on TikTok, and it's just a video of Brandon and Reese singing into this a Willy Man costume, and the Willy's about this long, and they're both singing Wonderwall and passing the Willy between them. That's all it is. Little bit of silly fun. And someone's commenting going, "That is the worst event I have ever been to." And someone commented saying, "I don't know what you're talking about. I have loads of fun every time I go." Someone else commented saying, "I always have a great time. It's so much fun. It's the best event I've ever been to." And then this person has then replied to them, "Well, you look like a scruffy chav like the rest of the people that go to that." And I was like, that is completely uncalled for. These people are just having an opinion on the event like you have an opinion. But now you're
attacking them.
You're attacking them. You fucking piece of shit. Anyway, I replied to the comment, "Which event was it you came to?" Never replied. I only wanted them to reply so their name would then be shown to us and I could search through purchase tickets. And then what I was going to do, I was going to get her number and no, I wasn't because GDPR.
What's that thing that they're doing about swatting people? You can do that.
I was actually going to put her up as like a childminder and that she had like Star Wars figurines for sale and things like that. I wasn't because GDPR and stuff, but I wanted to. Just think, why be an arsehole? Like,
I wonder if this person's ever actually been to one. Do we just?
I genuinely don't think they have.
Doubt it.
I think that you can tell these troll accounts. They just write things because they're angry. And I just think to myself, I watch a lot of stuff on YouTube and you see people going on about, or even like influencers and stuff, and they go on about saying, comments, people are awful, blah, blah, blah. And I just think, yeah, fuck off. Stop being so sensitive. And the more we put out there, the more I start to go,
No, they might have.
Oh my God, people are really awful. Like, there is some really awful people out there for no reason.
Keyboard warriors.
Yeah.
Just sat there. Let's be mean about this.
The only good thing that's come out of a little bit of a keyboard warrior, and I don't think they were being a keyboard warrior, but we put up a video about how our confetti blower works in Nottingham. And I said,
and now we have a container on the way.
Yeah, pretty much. And basically they'd said, it costs us like £17 a bag of kilo.
Really?
It costs us £17 for a kilo of confetti. That's what it costs us. People calling us liars for that, but good gear for music. Go on their website. That's where we get it from in York. That's what it costs us, right? And we put 3 bags in, like 50 quid plus the gas. Its best part is 60 odd quid's worth of thing. I found this cheaper instantly on Amazon. I looked on Amazon, I couldn't find it cheaper. And someone said, I've found this cheaper than £3 a bag at wholesale from China. And I was like, all right, cool. Can you give us a link? And then we had a thread of conversation. And now I have a supplier in China. The downside is it'll take 3 months to come. And I have to order 3,000 bags of them. But
that's effectively a weekend anyway.
Yeah, but at 80 pence a bag, that's what I'm going to do. But that's a positive thing.
Yeah,
but then you get people.
Well.
Then you just get people going, "It's not worth it." Oh, why bother? Well, that's because we want people to come to our events and enjoy themselves, experience a tornado of confetti. It's fun.
I have to say, you've not had that experience yet because every time we're on an event where there's confetti together, you're hosting it and I'm videoing it. But that is quite an experience when there's a large amount of confetti that comes at you.
Does it hurt?
No, it doesn't come at you, but it is.
Oh. Someone said
it is an experience of a swarm.
Yeah, like locusts.
Yes, Nottingham was my favourite experience of that, where we did the outdoor event at Binks Yard, and because it was raining or threatening to rain, they put the gazebo up.
Oh yeah.
So it was just high enough to get.
I have the clip.
It is. You lose light.
It's like that scene from that movie. Do you remember years ago, The Mummy? And there's that swarm of locusts coming towards them, and it kind of like almost
It
like
engulfs everything.
yeah,
Everything disappears.
That's what it looks like.
It's
It's on here now.
It is tremendous.
Yeah, but it's expensive. But that was it. So people had come, being trolls on that, and I'm like, this is just a video about. Oh, that was it. And I also made a joke because I said we're not going to set it off now because it was early in the evening. We're not going to set it off now because people are sat down and discussing all their terrible decisions, like voting Labour, right? And then people have commented going, I don't know why a video involving bingo has to have politics. I would not want to go to a bingo that's run by Tories. No. We're not saying that. It's called satire. Like, everyone's a bit pissed off with the government at the moment. Everyone was pissed off with the government before, but everyone's really angry with the government at the minute. So why can't we just make a little joke about it?
An event ran by Tories. I don't think we're anything like a Conservative Party conference.
No.
Our behaviour probably matches a little bit of like what the Tories were getting up to whilst everybody was supposed to be on
Yeah,
lockdown.
we are like a Tory Christmas party all year.
when the journalists sat there.
Yeah. That's what our events are like. Tory Christmas party. Just, But the nans are welcome. They're not like locked away in their homes. They're
freezing?
Yeah, freezing. Well, they are now. But they know they can come to our events and be warm. Oh, look, a bit more politics, and that'll hopefully trigger some other people to get angry.
Well, I don't think I've been at an event recently that's had the politics have triggered, but you have triggered people with something else equally as divisive. Religion. Christian outrage.
Oh, yeah, Christian outrage. And it's because it's Christmas, right? And I would say, like, people that either come to our events, they're not religious people. I don't think so, anyway. And I don't think we get... If you come into our events, I've said this before, you're the kind of person that doesn't take things too serious.
Yeah, even if they are religious, they're not devout religious people who can't take a joke about it.
I go to church on a Sunday now and again, right? But also I can laugh. So basically, there's a part in the night where I don't want to tell people because it might spoil the Christmas specials, but
it just features a certain character.
It features a certain character, right? And he's here this afternoon, right? And he's here. Our good friend, Jesus. You can be here while we discuss you, right? This is a bit about Jesus, and I say. Because not a lot of people know this, but before I was a bingo caller, I didn't mention this in the podcast about me, but before I was a bingo caller, I was actually a priest or a vicar. And so I have close personal connection with Jesus. I can call upon him as for a favour now and again. And I'd said to Jesus recently at church, I obviously I'm not a practicing vicar anymore, but I WhatsApped him and I said, listen, Jesus, do you mind bobbing down to this event? And he said, listen, I know the people coming to that event. They didn't sing their hymns loud enough during assembly at school. So I say, listen, Jesus will only come out if you sing your hymns loud enough. So we're going to have to sing an assembly banger. And we play a couple of assembly bangers. And everybody, I mean, they're like the Robbing S of church hymns. Everybody knows them, even if you're not a Christian. Right?
Well, we had this chat on the way to one saying that you did assembly bangers, and I'm like, I would not know any at all. And then the two you played, I'm like, oh yeah,
I know every single word to this, and I don't know why.
Yes,
yeah. So we did that. While we were doing this, I have my old uniform on, and
still fits as well.
Yes,
remarkable.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and you were in an area off the main hall where the event was. And what did they do?
You just mentioned something about Christianity. You'd done, like Jesus was starting to come out, and then you just made a comment about Christianity. The Christianity was the word that was used at some point. I can't remember how it was tied in, but you just used that
Yeah,
word.
yeah.
And then almost immediately after, these 3 girls walked past, they'll be like, "Fuck this bingo! I'm fucking going." Just stormed off.
Yeah.
But then came back maybe
5 minutes later.
straight to the bar, got a drink, and then came back again. He was like, so not fuck it that much.
What did I say in it? Like,
But it was outrage.
it's
It
not
wasn't
like
just-
it's some sort of extremist camp, is it? Like, we're not there. Like, it's not like we've gone. You don't have to be here for this bit now. It's not like we've gone. Right. What we will do is
See you, pal. See you in a few weeks.
see you on Saturday, Friday. It's not like we've gone, is it? You know, what we should do, we should start an extremist organisation. And what we'll do, we will use the medium of the bingo. So we'll get people together at bingo. And then we'll start, what's the word? Quite apt, actually. Grooming them into becoming Christians.
That's real little Jesus what you're talking about grooming.
We'll start grooming them into becoming Christians because we're going to play a couple of assembly bangers and give away a cardboard cutout of Jesus.
Just start with those sinners.
Yeah. And then they're in the gang and we'll start getting, £5 a week out of them for a new roof. Like, fuck off. Like, come on now. You can't get too up. If you come into our event anyway, like, you can't be that religious. It's drinking and gambling. So that's out that's the Muslim demographic written off.
Yep.
Instantly, isn't it? Okay. Who's left? The sinners. Right? It's an evening of sin. It's got dildos, it's got drinking, and it's got gambling. Right. Let's be honest. Them 3 combined are not the most, I'm a
Holy.
of things. So you can't be offended by it. And so we're not trying to offend the Christians, but at the same time, if anybody should be offended, it should be the Christians because we're taking the piss out of it.
Yeah.
But also, as a person who goes to church, I'm not offended by it.
This is just a bit of fun.
It's just a bit of fun. And no, we're trying to recruit Christian extremists. So
Halfway through the assembly bangers, if you could come up here and get christened.
yes. Oh, I'm going to do that.
Oh, this weekend.
You've given me a great idea. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a water pistol out and I'm going to christen everybody. And then I'm going to make them down their drinks and that's the community. Oh my God. And before that day I've made everybody Christian.
Should we put some quavers in the confetti machine?
Yeah. Fucking missile. A quaver inside that confetti machine would take people's ears off.
Or the quaver would just come out as dust.
Yeah.
With that much force behind it, it could evaporate a quaver.
It'd be like your nan's fucking ashes.
Well, religious works, still works. After we'd already given away dildos,
Yeah.
and people were just up on their chairs.
Well, that's it, isn't it? That's what always makes me laugh. Thankfully, our adverts are designed to filter out them people. And at the beginning of the night, we say, "Don't.
Yeah.
If these things bother you, but go home. If you find yourself starting to go, I'm going to send an email, or you see your friend going, I'm going to send an email. I tell you at the start, if you do that, I will go and look where you bought your ticket from. And I'll get your address, and I'll come and steal your family pet.
So always say GDPR. We're not actually going to do that.
Well, I can because they've bought tickets from me, so I can look at.
You can.
Yeah, I can look at the data sheets. I shouldn't use it for them things, but I will. I will come to your house and steal your dog, and then give it to Reese because Reese is a registered dogophile.
Unless it's
Oh my God! It sounds like some sort of Diddy bingo now.
You've gone from being a cult to being a Diddy bingo.
Yeah, and also I've just realised that someone could clip this podcast up.
Yeah. Oh, this is horrible for clipping.
Because you could clip it up and say a conservative bingo where Muslims are not allowed. It's like a Diddy party. And there's a dogophile. Clipped up, that's bad.
I think you should just clip that. Is the Instagram tease. A Tory party dogging conference.
Yeah, we're like the
What-
Tory Christmas party. To be fair, the 12 people that watch and listen to this should probably will be all right, I imagine.
Yeah.
It's I always think to myself, these. Do you ever think back of the things you've done over the years in
This
this,
is a bit longer.
things you've done over the years in this job, where you're like, you've done like mad stage games or stuff like that, and you think, if I ever became like famous,
Oh, there's so much.
oh,
Instantly cancelled.
I recently heard about someone we both know becoming a Conservative MP.
Really?
Yes.
Who?
Well,
I mean, you don't have
I'll
to
crop
use
it
it.
out.
Fuck off.
What? And this person used to have stuff on Pornhub, didn't they?
I imagine so.
No,
There's
they did. And they're now running as a Conservative MP.
that is mind-boggling.
Yeah. So if they can do it, anyone can do it.
But then the fact that they did that, because, sex work is real work.
Well, maybe. I mean, whatever makes you happy.
Some people may be like, well, I'm going to vote for her. She might start doing it again. Or I'm going to vote for her because
someone was
she's
saying,
relatable.
the person who was telling me this said they had a little look to see if the videos were still there, but they seem to have disappeared.
It's not a surprise. But once they've been posted on the internet once, they're there forever, aren't they? Somebody there to find them.
George will be able to find them.
George has probably got them on his Plex server.
He probably has, yeah. Unless they've been renamed to local MP. Local Conservative MP does 12 in a row or something like that.
I can't believe she's a Tory MP.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I can't believe that either.
She is quite possibly a lot more relatable than a lot of the politician people.
Yeah.
Like, have you met many MPs? Some of them you meet and go, wow, I have very little in common with you. And also, you should not be in charge of running yourself, let alone the country.
The only politician that I have ever thought, I could see myself doing that, to be honest, John Prescott. When he fucking twatted that guy.
He's died recently.
Yeah, he died, didn't he, last week or a week or so, yeah. And he twatted that, was he
somebody
a member of press or something like that? I don't know. Someone did something and he just went, whack! And I just thought, well, someone did throw something at him. Someone threw something at me, I'd fucking whack him. And then go, shit, probably shouldn't have done that. Yeah.
Oh, someone filmed that.
But at the same time, I had more respect for him as an MP. Because I thought, he's a normal person. He makes mistakes.
Yeah.
He's got some fire in him. That's the thing with MPs, isn't it? You don't know what you don't know them. They're like puppets to what?
And very unknowable and unanswer a straight question.
Yeah. Like, there is there's a couple. There's one MP that is quite good at just like saying. He's like refreshing because he says things, to a point that you don't expect an MP to say. Whether it's right or not is another thing. But
you might not agree with it, but at least he's saying something. Not
like
around
fluff around it. He calls bullshit. Which I think is like us at the bingo. Like we call, if someone calls we call bullshit. Like we don't try and beat around it. If something's hard, we say it's hard, and we're not doing it anymore. Don't we?
Fuck these stairs.
Fuck the stairs. Yeah. Fuck them.
Fuck these stairs.
Like, the thing is as well, like, there's also, we get messages from venues quite often. And I said to them, yeah or no, straight away from off the bat, I go, yeah, that'll work for us. No, it won't work. And the reason why it won't work is because of X, Y, Z. If I go on their page, first thing I always do, venue reaches out, I go straight on Google and I type in the venue and the location. And I click news on Google. And I go, no. Something might come up. I'll read the comments. And, I know that people go on nights out and get pissed. And it's mainly nightclubs, this. And that's why we're not really doing nightclubs anymore. The nightclubs we'll be doing next year are the ones we've done this year. But we're not really taking on any new nightclubs because they're problematic. And it's not necessarily their fault. I think some of them it's their own fault because nightclubs just haven't been run well for quite a long time, and that's why they're all going to shit. Controversial opinion, but fuck it, like that's my opinion. I've worked in nightclubs my entire life.
It's not that controversial.
I've just seen them being run to the ground, and the biggest issue is with nightclubs is that it's run by old men, and they go, and they don't visit their venues, and they go, oh, actually, they just look at the figures, and they don't go and stood in the venue. In fact, there's a guy I used to work for years ago, and he's still going now, and he did. I used to hate him for it. He used to come to the venues on a night and stand in the corner of the room and text you, telling you where you were going wrong when you were DJing, and he used to fuck off, leave me alone, I'm trying to DJ. But that's rare. Like that's rare for the owner. Like he didn't just own like one or two. He owned quite a lot, and he would stand there and he cared enough to come down and watch what was going on. And he stood in the corner of the rooms and he listened to people coming in and out. And that's something I learned from him, is that watching people is like, and listening to people is the most important thing. You can't run a venue.
Genuine feedback.
Yeah, you can't run a venue from a spreadsheet. And the biggest issue now is that a lot of these big corporate companies don't understand what people want because they don't speak to their DJs or their entertainers, and they're the ones on the front line or the bar staff because,
the people that are actually in the environment.
Yeah, because they're like, oh, these people don't matter. They're not as educated as we are, or they're not as they haven't worked in this industry for as long as we have. But they're the ones talking to the customers constantly.
What has also happened a lot in recent years after COVID is these big companies have got rid of some of their staff. A lot of staff were made redundant through it.
Yeah.
They've replaced them with marketing teams that are fresh out of university, that have done marketing degrees, but none of them have any experience in nightclubs. They didn't go to the nightclubs when they were out. Then through COVID, there were no nightlife.
Yeah.
So
and the thing is as well, it's like,
in.
And everything as well, it's like you've got all these old men, and it is all old men. There's not old women working in nightclub world. Not really. I can't think of many female GMs, that I know of anyway.
No,
it is an old man. It's a job for the old lads. Is nightclubs. That's what I think anyway, and that's definitely something that should change. There's one manager, female manager, she was fucking awesome. She was ruthless, but she was fucking awesome. And she knew she was good. Every venue she ever worked in, she was good. But do you know why she was good? She was aggressive. She was good. Adele Lord.
Thought so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was fucking class,
yeah.
To be fair.
I like working for Adele.
Yeah. Because there was no bullshit. There's so much bullshit these days. And so much of like managers hidden away in their offices. And so much short-sightedness. And they don't talk to anybody below. And I think I see that myself because even still now, when I go and, because, I own the bingo, but I also, I own the bingo and I also host most of the bingos. And I sometimes the venue managers and stuff don't realise there's me that owns the bingo. They try and speak to me sometimes like I'm just a member of staff that works for the bingo.
Yeah.
And it's not until I turn around and say to him, no. That's not what's happening. All that time when you had a manager that spoke to you like shit, and then you told me, and I texted them and said, please don't speak to my staff like shit. Well, have some respect for people, and that's the biggest issue. That's why I think nightclubs are failing. Not all of them, but why I think some of them are failing is that there's like deep-rooted shit that works in them. And all the good stuff, all the good people all the good managers, all the good DJs, all the good staff, during COVID, they got shit on so bad.
They just left.
They just thought, fuck this, because if that ever happens again, we're not looked after. And now everyone, all the DJs, everybody, all the managers and all the they just got shit on and thrown out the door because we'll get new ones. So all the good ones went and got new jobs, doing something else, and then realised, actually, working like every single weekend and not seeing my family over a weekend or whatever is shit. I can work 9 to 5, earn a living, and I don't have to put up with customers swearing and throwing drinks everywhere. And,
you don't have to wonder if this is your last gig.
And what's the notorious thing if you're a DJ? Ooh, will I get paid this week? Like, one thing as a DJ is you're constantly chasing money.
Yeah.
Because people don't like paying you. And who are the people that don't like paying you? these old men who run these clubs.
Yeah.
I worked for an independent for years and years and years, a family-owned nightclub for years, and I always tried to leave, and I stayed there. I didn't try and leave for any other reason than I fancied a change. And they always had respect because they owned one club and one bar, right? And the guy was in like his early 80s, late 70s who owned it. And he always turned up on a Saturday night in a suit, right? It's a Greek family that own it. And that was different because he had respect for all of his staff. And I would get paid at the end of the night. There was none of that bullshit, and that's why I stayed there. Because then I was working for other nightclubs at the time, and I was like, "Will I get paid this Friday? I don't know."
Haven't been paid. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
We'll
put it on next week's.
Yeah.
Will I'll just tell the fucking bank shell like that. I'll get paid next week.
Next week. Oh, great! So I'll just wait another week for that money that I needed this week.
Yeah. So anyway, back to what we were saying.
Oh, yeah.
The reason why I think we're going to do less nightclubs is because they're quite badly run. There's a couple of operators I think that are good, but there's a couple that are blacklisted. I've had a couple of venues reach out to me from this one particular company, and I just say, no, we're okay. Because they have a reputation for, their clubs have bad reputation, and they don't have any good managers left.
It is a hard sell when a venue's got a bad reputation.
Oh, isn't it? Like I was saying, you look at Facebook reviews, and I think one of the from an operational point, and even for us as an event, one of the things that can damage a venue, door staff.
Mm-hmm.
And door staff, unfortunately, have a habit of not being able to, like, when they go straight to level 10, there's no, like, people, you've got to remember, people are pissed, aren't they? They're just out. Maybe they've got a bit too pissed, a bit carried away, they're a bit mouthy, a bit cheeky.
They're not trying
Yeah,
to...
they're not trying. Like, there's some people that deserve, not our customers, thankfully, but there's some people that could do with being picked up and thrown through a fire door. There's some people that could definitely do with that. But there's also some people where I've seen just doormen go straight from 0 to 10. And
they've just been drunk and done
something. There's some of them that are full of steroids, act like arseholes, waiting for any opportunity to be a fucking ego monster. Do you know what I mean? And they do nothing. They love nothing more than bullying an 18-year-old student. And you can see them ones because I see them a mile off. But you can also see them ones because they pop up. Like, you can have a couple of reviews, can't you, on Facebook where people got pissed and they're going to complain, right?
You're always going to get more negative reviews about something than you are positive because you get annoyed.
Whereas, if it's the same thing that keeps popping up, and it's the same doorman's name that keeps popping up, or in the same description of the same doorman that keeps popping up, and I've seen this in venues, I've just gone, no one's caring what the customers say here. They're not listening to what the customers are saying because that doorman's still there.
Yeah.
So, even if you don't think that doorman's a problem, some people think he's clearly doing something wrong to be the one that's named constantly. And usually, they're the ones that are assholes. So nightclubs have an issue of badly ran, bad security, bad reputation. So we don't want to touch them. Like most customers don't want to go to them. Like, we will work with someone, the ones we've got on. What's the company that we do quite a few for? Epic Bars and Clubs. They own all the trilogies and stuff.
Yeah.
Great. They're great. Deal with the managers. Most of the managers are old school. And all the good old school managers that have gone from working for the other companies, they've been around a while, they've gone to work for them. And actually, I would say most of the managers that work for them are perfect. We don't have any issues with them. Sean in Salisbury, he's a tight fuck, like, he won't give us a beer, like, but apart from that, do you know what I mean? Like, apart from him being a bit tight, he's great to deal with. There's no bullshit, and I hate bullshit.
Yeah, nice guy. Turns up, says how you are. Do you need anything?
No.
A beer? No. All right, anything else? No. All right, cool. Let me know if you do.
Yeah. And then you got Charles in High Wycombe, our least profitable. In fact, even at a sellout, it breaks even. And I keep saying to him, Charles, I can't keep doing this one. And he goes, but it's just we like him. And I've said to him, if you ever leave this venue, Charles, we're leaving High Wycombe. So you have to stay here. Because when I gave him some dates for next year, he was like, oh, I'm so glad to see that we can keep working together. And I went, Yeah, but if you ever leave,
Cancelled.
they're all gone.
Immediately
Yeah.
gone.
So, but yeah, we are looking for some new venues for next year. And so if you have like a theatre, like a big function room, what else? Theatre, function room,
Preferably something
ballroom,
with ground floor access.
ground floor. If you have the tables and benches,
Oh, if you have
great.
tables and benches, you're
Yeah.
going way up that list.
Yeah. And you're not assholes. In fact, also, if you're an independent, if you're a small independent that's looking for an event to help pick up the weekends where you haven't got much on or you need to, whatever. I like working with small independents, like the Underdog. I like working for them because they have it the hardest. They don't have big cash flow company above them trying to help them out. And it's only going to get harder with the way that the government has changed things. It's only going to get harder for small venues. So I would sooner work with them to try and help keep them going. So if you
Usually, better to work with.
yeah, usually great to work with. No bullshit, no jump through these hoops or whatever. So yeah, and we're particularly looking for a venue in Leeds as well, because the venue we use in Leeds, they've got a lot of bookings in already, and we just can't get it to fit in with the dates that we have free. So if you've got a venue in Leeds as well, yeah, we'd love to talk to you.
Oh, we'd love that lack of drive.
Yeah.
Oh,
We only do venues with tables and benches, sound and lighting. And you have to provide all the bingo prizes. That sounds like another bingo operator, doesn't it?
It
That
does,
sounds like their requirement for if you want them to put an event on.
yeah, minimum sales.
Yeah. I did see, going back to the whole thing on the comments in Barrow, somebody commented who runs some sort of like bingo event, and it had like, I don't know, 100 likes on their page. If you would like retro 70s and 80s bingo party to come and put an event on, we'll happily come and do it and deal with the steps. And I went, good fucking luck to you. Good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God, we do sound whiny as well, don't we? Being like ground floor. Listen, there's that much extra equipment now compared to 6 months ago
Yeah.
with minimal extra people.
There's more. Well, yeah, there's.
We're slowly getting extra people, but it's hard to find somebody that fits into the team well, that's available for how we work.
Yeah, because it's hard. Even getting like extra dancers to come and work for us is difficult. Like that's the biggest bane of my life. That is that we have Brandon and Reese who are resident idiots, and then we get additionals to come in now and again. Like at the weekend, we had a couple of additional dancers that came, and we have Martins now and again when he's free. But usually the time, because we only try and do one event a night, Brandon and Reese is enough. But when we have two on, we split them up and then we get extras to come in. Anyway, we had this issue last week where we were going, we need an extra dancer. Someone started messaging us going, or they'd messaged us before saying, if you ever need dancers, let us know. So I messaged them saying, hi, yeah, we need two people here and here. These are the times. And they're too fixated on, like for a dancer to come in, and we don't want a dancer, we just want someone to stand on stage and be silly. But they're too used to coming into a club
and doing a set
thing, and it's like, well, it's not a set thing. And I said, basically, there's 3 games of bingo. They last about 40 minutes each, roughly. I'd want you on stage for the 40 minutes, but you're not dancing the whole time. And I spent the whole day talking to this person, said they'd found somebody, said the price. And then I'd said to him early on, do you know how our event works? Yeah, we've been to something similar, so we've got an idea. And then when I said about the, 40 minutes thing, oh no, maximum we can do is 10 to 15 minutes. Yeah, but I'm not asking you to dance for 40 minutes. I'm asking you to just be on stage. I can also, if it's going to be more money, then, if you want paying more money, why don't you? And it was just, oh no, we can't help with that now. And I thought, you just wasted my entire day.
Yeah, I think the only time we'd ever have anybody dancing for 40 minutes is if we've got Reese in an inflatable costume.
Yeah, and then we drag it out for as long as possible.
I mean, that's just an hour and a half set just to see how long it can go for.
Yeah.
But it is nice that we've now got a Willis. We had somebody this last weekend to help with selling merchandise. You can now buy things, cash or card. The confetti is a fantastic thing. The swarm of confetti that's attacked confetti whilst being expensive
so what now?
is so much fun.
So what we've done now is rather than just having just the confetti blaster, the big confetti machine and the pyrotechnic confetti, we also now they're almost like landmines, aren't they? Now people can buy them and set them off in the room at any point they want, and we say to people, pick an inappropriate point to set them off, but they don't. They just get oh.
I think.
And then they set it off just as they're waiting for the show to start. And then once one goes off, they all go off. And they're good for like Instagram, aren't they? Like good for Instagram videos.
It's a shame we don't do the Nan's trolley anymore.
That can return.
But so my Nan's dead. Boom!
That's what I was waiting for. I've got something I was thinking about earlier that I wanted to ask you actually.
I'm wondering if you're gonna watch this video back and go, why have I been hugging a pillow for the entire time?
Oh, do you know why? I find it quite comfortable.
They are quite comfortable.
I like to lean on something.
It's better to have something to rest on rather than hold the microphone up.
When you was at school, so like we were saying before about like if you became famous and then things coming out, then about that person who used to get boobs out on porno but now is running as a Conservative MP. What did you want to do when you was at school?
For a while it was a farmer.
Because your dad?
Because my dad.
Yeah.
And then I think actual job-wise, pilot, RAF.
Ah.
Was my plan, I think. Went to a career centre and like they said you should go to university and go in as an officer.
Yeah.
As opposed to going in now. So then I didn't know what I wanted to go to university for, so I decided to take a year out and I'm still on it.
Ah, right, okay.
So that didn't quite pan out. What about you? There must be there must be a reason why you're asking this.
No, there's no reason. I never wanted to be a bingo caller. And I never wanted to do this.
Oh, I hated any of the performing arts. Any of the arty-farty stuff.
Yeah, same.
Like the music or the being on stage, the drama or the photography, all of that stuff, hated all of it. Not for me in the slightest.
I did the sound for the school shows, but then I won't want to be on there. But now looking back, I wish I had. Because I think I'd fucking love it.
Yeah.
I'd love to be stood on the stage doing summit. I wish I had the confidence I have now
to be able to do it back then.
To do it back then.
Yeah, I don't know if it was I just had no interest in any of it.
I don't think I knew what it. I don't know if I knew that standing on stage could give you the feeling it gives you. Like I wanted to be a steam train driver.
Really?
Yeah. I still kind of do, to be fair.
I mean, yeah, I'm like,
but I mean, I was born in 1988, and steam trains.
You kind of,
yeah,
it's quite a niche thing now.
I was a bit late for it. I did look into it a few years ago. You have to go and volunteer. But you can become a steam train driver. You have to you have to be qualified. It's like a progression. It takes about 5 years or something.
Really?
It's so many hours you put into it. I genuinely looked at doing it at the North Yorkshire Moors Railway.
I mean, yeah.
And I still could. I mean, I'm not 100 years old, and that's the usual age of them.
I can say steam train drivers usually are quite old now, aren't they? Yeah. A lot of shoveling.
No, that's to be a fireman. That's a different thing altogether.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, I think you start by like oiling them up on the morning and cleaning them. And you gradually progress.
Oh, it's a real kind of like apprentice.
Yeah. And the
work.
more hours you put into it, so if I mean, for me, I could. I mean, I don't know how, but I suppose in theory, I only do events on a weekend. What people don't realise is that I spend the other fucking days sat on my laptop and moaning at people, and them moaning at me, and why haven't I told any tickets?
Yeah,
I can't really do like. I'd be the first person to get done for using their mobile phone while driving a steam train.
Caught by camera.
Yeah. I'll have a Mac on the side of the thing and yeah.
What's that? Are you on a train? Yeah, I'm driving it.
Yeah,
what?
I'm driving it, yeah.
On that being on stage thing, when did you decide that you quite liked the going on stage stuff?
When I used to the bowling alley, I think I kind of used to run up and down the lanes with the microphone.
Ah, yeah.
And I quite like that. I think it was like when I started doing the boat parties that I really came into.
Like, oh, this is fun making people do stuff, being a bit silly.
No, I just kind of I loved talking and people engaging and then saying I like playing with people, if that makes sense. Like I like
All right,
making
Diddy.
people think. Yeah, I like making people think we're going one way, and then just with words take them on a different journey, or almost like insinuate things, but not actually. They think you know what you're on about. I don't know. Just playing with people and making them laugh. That's what I kind of enjoy. No, I wanted to be a train driver. And I did a very similar thing to you, actually. I did speak to the careers office because I wanted to be a weapons systems operator,
Oh,
which meant you would be like, you'd work on helicopters operating the weapons.
the guy that hangs out the window with him.
And
the
you'd
rather
be a
large machine
wingspan
gun.
on search and rescue operations. And then never followed through with it and just kept DJing. Part of me does still regret it.
I've still considered the pilot thing.
You're a bit late now. You'd have to pay to be a pilot now.
Yeah, but helicopters. Now I'm interested in. Like I would happily go.
You shouldn't.
Yeah, definitely.
You shouldn't.
Oh, perfect. Search and rescue.
No.
Right, yeah.
You shouldn't. Like you being responsible for a van or a car is fine. You being responsible for a helicopter.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Yes.
Ben. No.
Like, just about, someone's in danger. It's within. You know, you can't go there. That's too dangerous for the helicopter to fly there. Nah, it'll be right. Smash.
Yeah. Why is half the blades missing? Ding, ding, ding. I got a bit close to a rock.
Still flies though, doesn't it? Told you it'd be fine. Ding, 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 ding.
That is the issue, I think. And you drink too much. They'd be like, we need a search and rescue pilot now. And you'd be like, yeah.
Hi, I'm on my way.
How important is it? Like, is this kind of one of them things where you desperately need a pilot and you can just like ignore the facts? It might smell of a little bit like tequila rosé.
Are they lost or have you found them and they're in a bad way?
Yeah.
Like, how long have they been missing for?
Like, how important is this?
Yeah. Do you like them?
And I've never asked this question before, but is drink flying is that a thing?
I think it is.
Is it an endorsable offence?
Who checks?
Yeah. I think it definitely is because people get pilots get done all the time for cocaine, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you should be. They're helpful for bingo though.
Just shin hook the tables and benches on a pallet.
Drop them through the roof.
That'd be great in the one by the river.
Hereford,
straight onto the balcony, outside.
Yeah.
Done.
Problem is that you'd be taking it away at the end of the night. You'd get 3 ton of tables and benches and just drag the roof off. Oh my God, there's been outrage in Hereford, you know, because there's been some flooding in Hereford. And a guy in a tractor.
Hang on, which one's Hereford again? Which one's that?
The left bank.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, right.
Was the one we were just talking about.
Yeah, right.
In the town centre. I don't know if it's Hereford town centre or a town centre nearby. Was flooded and a guy in a tractor has driven through the town too fast. And it's damaged the shops and knocked the windows out and stuff, right? And he's been arrested. And everyone's going, this tractor has done all this damage. And I probably shouldn't say this because it might upset some people in Hereford. But all I kept thinking,
what?
I mean, they were already flooded. But the windows, the windows have come out because he drove past so fast. I'll be honest with you. I think if your windows were soaking in water for quite a long time, they probably should be replaced anyway.
Pretty sure the main problem is the fact that the town flooded.
But no, everyone's fixated on this farmer, not why did the flood defences that the council are responsible for?
Nope, it's the farmer's fault. All the insurance.
People are like, they should take his farm away from him. Man, that's a bit fucking harsh. Like,
insurance companies will try to put all the smashed windows.
This guy's not actually responded to any of this. Like, he could have had a reason. Like, he could have had a reason that he was in a rush. Like, he could have had. And I saw a couple of people say this. Yeah, but he could have had a field full of stock that was about to flood, and his main concern was not that the shops that were already flooded, the 200 pieces of livestock in a field that might drown.
Yeah,
that's what he might have been rushing for. There could have been more to this, but no, it's always instantly, again, back to people on Facebook, social media, not thinking about potentially there's another angle to this. So let's, rather than stone and hang the person, I mean, thank God we don't hang and stone people anymore, because it'd be very much, witches aren't a thing anymore. Like, how did you find a witch? You were drowning. If they survived being drowned, they were a witch. That's what it's like, isn't it? That's what social media is like.
Yeah. Can't prove it right or wrong.
I hate social media. I like it for what, like the fun stuff. Yeah. So now, if you had to have a normal job, right, you could pick any normal job right now. Like this life isn't you can't do this anymore. Health reasons, like, you have to pick a normal job. So it could be like, I don't know, driving a grocery van to any job, dream job. What would you pick?
Have looked occasionally. I do, have a look around. Honestly, the people that mow the fields for the council and the tractors, like that kind of department.
There used to be a guy at school when I was at high school, and he looked like one of the villains from like Captain Scarlet. And he was like bald with like thick black eyebrows. I still see him about now, and I always thought he was really old, and he looks exactly the same now. He's really tanned, almost looks like a bit Egyptian, right? But then one time I saw him without his jacket on, and like his neck down and his arms are white. His hands and his face are like mahogany. And it's because he's just sat outside all the time. He's just got extremely tanned.
Yeah.
But I used to look at him and think, that's kind of a cool job. And it was one of them with the two levers, like, but no, achievable, attainable.
Oh, well, if it has to be
Yeah,
achievable, I'd cutting grass.
Cutting grass, but I don't think you'll do that for very long.
Did you see End of Forrest Gump? You look so happy.
Yeah, but you're not, you can't drink while doing that job. That's the problem. So,
Yeah.
maybe you should do something on private land. And then you can operate machinery and drink.
Cut grass on like a country estate.
Cut grass on your own country estate.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dream job, retired.
Yeah, I want to be a retired steam train driver.
Yeah.
No. I want to retire and be a steam train driver. I don't want to have retired.
Yeah. To have done it already and quit.
What a weird transition to go from, a DJ bingo caller, dildos and offending the Christian community to I've quite fancy just being a steam train driver.
People just don't quite understand this job.
No, people don't realise that actually when you're on stage, you're more of a character than you are your actual self.
Yeah.
I always think that because people come and talk to me sometimes. Like the lads are almost the same. The lads are the same. Brandon and Reese on stage and off stage are kind of similar. Brandon is very similar. Reese is a little less similar actually. Reese is a little bit more reserved in his, a bit more conservative. Not in his voting, but in his mannerisms or his personality. Whereas Brandon is just like a little jack in the box constantly.
I envy the fact that this is their first job in nightlife and entertainment.
Yeah, but also I'm annoyed at it, because they don't know what it's really like.
Yeah, they've not
worked with arseholes. They've not been paid before.
They've not had the shitty events that you have to do all the time where things. Obviously, we have some events that aren't as busy as others.
Yeah,
but they've not done these disastrous events for years.
They've never turned up to a venue that they've been booked for, found the venue's closed, and then rang the person who's booked them, and they've gone, "Oh, sorry, yeah, it's cancelled. I forgot to tell you."
Yeah, which I'm happy for you, the fact that this is your first job, but also, fuck you.
Yeah, you need a taste of some shit, don't they?
Yeah,
like Reese just fucking potters around in the van, just uses the van for his own personal escapades. Just
yeah, company van that you can just use.
Yeah.
It's taken how many years for you to get to this point, and you've had to buy the van?
Yeah. And Reese just potters around, go just borrow the van. Did a fucking 600-mile round trip for the laugh. To be fair, I did get him to do a job while he was at it, and I didn't want the responsibility. I didn't want him to die while driving his own personal car.
Yeah.
It turns out that Reese's car, when I move it, sometimes he parks it outside the house when he takes a van, and then it makes like awful knocking noises, like metal rods banging into the frame. Turns out it was actually golf balls in the boot. And I was like, "How long have they been there for?" He's like, "I don't know." Anyway, so he realised that. He was like, "I'm going to take him out." He still hasn't taken him out, and that was a month ago. But can you imagine that noise of just golf balls rolling around in the underneath of your boot, in the metal?
Oh, like the tyre well.
Yeah, yeah. It'd drive you mad, that, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And he just probably too busy listening to Tom Zanetti and the sound of bass line in his car while he's driving from Keighley.
I mean, I would. How else are you going to get through Keighley?
Mm.
Oh, I've had to pay a fortune to Bradford recently. Bullshit.
Oh, because of the
Clean air zone charge. And now that none of them are from in Bradford, I think Bradford are fucking stretching. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know it's not really the city centre where we have this problem, but you're skirting a BD postcode, so fuck you, give us some money.
That was recently, wasn't it?
I had one when we went from the lockup and it took me through Bradford, briefly. It's like, oh, well, at least I knew about that one, but I have had some others.
Did you pay that one?
Yes, because I knew about that one.
Right, okay.
I got one on the way back when I must have just skimmed through somewhere near Shipley.
Well, yeah, we just got 2 fines through from the Tyne Tunnel as well.
Why did you need to go through the Tyne Tunnel? Did you miss an exit? I didn't think you had to go
No,
through
we
that
were
to get
doing an
to
event in Newcastle, and one of the suppliers for the bingo boxes at the other side, and I'd gone to actually just pick them up rather than get them posted, which has just reminded me. I hope we've got enough bingo boxes this weekend. And on that note, I think we should end this week's podcast.
And order some bingo books.
Yeah. Thank you so much for listening. If you've got this far, thank you. If you haven't been offended, wonderful. Please buy a ticket for one of our events. If you have been offended, go fuck yourself. You're not saying bye.
Bye.